Hello, my friends. I hope you're doing really great. I'm Kat, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 big mistakes that amateurs make when it comes to presenting. So glad that you're here joining me. Those of you that are here live, if you're watching the replay, welcome. Either way, I'm going to be sharing with you some really valuable tips, and I recommend that you grab a pen and paper and make some notes. Do you want to show up more professional when you're presenting rather than showing up and kind of winging it and hoping for the best? But you get on camera and you just feel like the real authentic you is hiding behind these nerves. You know, it's kind of like the real you gets pushed down and you're struggling with your nerves, or you wonder why your audience isn't really engaging, or people are not following through, or they're not as responsive as you wanted them to be. Over the last 10 plus years of presenting, I've discovered that there are really 7 core mistakes that people make when it comes to presenting, and you might want to write these down. These mistakes are quite sinister. Like they're not necessarily the obvious ones, and so a lot of people miss them, and they don't even realize that they're really leaving money on the table. They're really putting aside the influence that they could have, the power and the confidence that they could have if they get these things right. So I'm going to share how you can avoid these things that are often undetected. So instead of wondering, am I going to show up and fumble my words? Are people going to take me seriously as a professional? When I say mistakes that amateurs make, amateur presenters, by that, I mean the actual dictionary definition of amateur, which means they don't do it for a profession. So amateur means you don't get paid. It's a hobby. And so if you want to actually get paid by developing your skill as a presenter and making sure that the way you communicate your value when you're presenting is actually going to lead to paid clients. So ultimately, you know that you can show up in any situation and be able to show up the best that you can, as a really powerful presenter, as a confident presenter, so that you will then have the skill, which becomes an asset, a client converting asset, which ultimately means that you will never have to worry about getting clients again once you develop this skill. And I mean, ultimately that gives you freedom. That gives you the lifestyle you want of never having to worry about money, never having to worry about where do I get clients, because you've developed the skill of presenting. It's super powerful. So here are the mistakes that I've noticed. Number one is showing up with low confidence. If we don't show up with confidence in ourselves and what we're talking about in our product or service, people won't trust us. So there are 4 main fears that people have when it comes to confidence, and these 4 fears kill confidence. They kill it. Number 1 is a fear of failure, a fear of getting it wrong, a fear of not succeeding. Number 2 is a fear of rejection. So afraid of what people might think, so guarded in what you're saying, because you don't want people to not like what you're going to say. Number 3 is a loss of security, feeling unsafe, feeling uncertain, feeling out of your depth, feeling insecure. And number 4 is a fear of criticism, where you're scared of what people might think. And these things can really stop us from authentically sharing what's on our heart. And most people that show up with low confidence, they have at least one of these fears. And the thing is, like, my biggest fear was fear of failure. And these fears really stopped me for years from presenting. And these fears stop us from being the influencer and the leader that we're here to be. And for me, it stopped me from moving out of one-on-one for years, and stopped me growing my audience, and stopped me having influence and having the impact that I know that I'm here to make. So if you want to accelerate your business growth, it's so important that you work on your confidence and that you show up confidently. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping women in particular to show up confidently. And we need to do whatever it takes to work on these fears, to not let these fears block us, and to do whatever it takes to build ourselves up to, whether we need to do that through our mindset, through meditation, through reading our testimonials, through talking to ourselves, self-talk, quotes, affirmations, just throw all of it at it, because we cannot get past, we can't even get out of the starting blocks if we're showing up with really low confidence. It doesn't mean you have to be really super confident all the time. You're going to have wobbles. You're going to have times where you're feeling fearful. I definitely do. I still get nervous, but you just take action anyway. And that's when the confidence comes as a byproduct of you taking that consistent action. Number 2, focusing too much on themselves. The second mistake amateur presenters make, and this is one reason why they do have a lot of fear, is because they're so focused on yourself, and it's not about you, it's about your message. There's a saying out there, if you're nervous, focus on service. If you're nervous, focus on service. When you're speaking, when you're presenting, the more you think about yourself, the more you'll be locked in fear, because you'll be thinking, how am I coming across? How's my voice? You know, am I making the right hand gestures? All of that stuff is me. And you're not thinking about your audience and how you can impart the message to them and really communicate to them at the highest level, because you're present and you're allowing the message to come through, rather than being so focused on yourself, rather than thinking, what are they thinking? And this voice chatter that's going on, you can be present, which means that what happens with me when I'm fully present is that it's like divine downloads come, and things come up out of me that I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? But it's because I'm present. And of course, we go back and forth from the future to the past to the present. We oscillate between them. But the more that we focus on other people, the more that we are confident, and it reduces that fear. I believe you have an important message to share with the world. I believe you've been gifted with incredible experience and wisdom and knowledge. Drop a Y for yes in the comments if you believe that. If you believe that you have a valuable message to share, and that it would help if you were focusing on your audience as opposed to yourself. Just drop a yes if you'd say yes to that. It's something I've really noticed over many years, is that people that are struggling with nerves, they're making it too much about themselves. You know, we can pull out our phone any moment and help someone who is suffering right now. But why don't we do it more? Why don't we jump on that Facebook Live and share an amazing piece of content that would actually reduce the suffering in someone's life? It's because we're worried about ourselves. So if you want to really crack this, you've got to stop worrying about what people think. Not everyone's going to resonate with what you say, and that's good. It's actually good. It means you're repelling the wrong people and you're attracting the right people. And that's how you grow your business. Okay, number three, the third mistake amateur presenters make, excuse me, is failing to use influence skills. So just showing up and sharing content, but not thinking about influence. Influence is speaking to the subconscious mind. I call it invisible influence, because often people don't even realize it's happening, where you're speaking to their subconscious mind. You're not speaking to their logic. You're speaking emotionally. You're speaking to their fears, their desires, their frustrations, their dreams, things that kind of happen below the surface, their values, their shadow values, things that are important to them. This is what we do when we're using influence skills. And influence, you know, my business is called Amplify Your Influence. Influence is the one thing that I teach people ultimately. Ultimately, I teach people how to get clients using influence skills. Influence in the way we speak, influence in the way we write. And the reason I have such a strong conviction around influence is that other people used influence skills for me, and because they went all in on their conviction to influence me to change my life and have a breakthrough and invest in education, it completely brought me my freedom. It brought me my freedom. If other people hadn't gone all in with their influence to influence me to get out of my fears and come out of all the issues that I had, all of my stuff, my fears, my limiting beliefs, I had so much. And if other people hadn't influenced me to invest in their programs, I would still be broke and struggling. So people used influence to show me what was possible. And they didn't give up on me having a breakthrough by influencing me. And now I have freedom. Now I can work anywhere in the world. Now I can earn a 6-figure income, doing what I love. And it's because people didn't give up on me and they influence me. So I will go all in on influencing someone to help them improve the quality of their life, to have a breakthrough, because no one deserves to suffer. And I don't want anyone to be crippled by overwhelm and confusion when it comes to growing their business. I want to do everything in my power to influence people to overcome those fears so that they truly can live in their freedom. I believe everyone deserves that freedom. So I'll do what it takes to influence, not in a convincing way, not in a pushy way, but in a, I care about you and I care about you having a breakthrough. And that's why I'm going to use influence elegantly. Elegantly, that's the key. So that's number 3, not using influence skills. Number 4, how are we going, team? Are you writing these down? Hopefully you're tracking and absorbing. Number 4 is not valuing their expertise enough. Not valuing their expertise enough. And I see this all the time with women. Women, for some reason, majority, I know there's always exceptions, but a lot of women, they don't prize themselves as much as men. And I've heard men and women both agree with this. And there's a lot of research that proves this about how women often just need to gather more qualifications, whereas men have a higher level of confidence when it comes to their abilities. So when you have a really great niche, when you're really good at what you do, you have the right to ask for good money for that. You're not a charity. You're not an amateur, you're a professional, and you have the right to bring confidence. The reason I bring confidence is because I'm over my 10,000 hours in. Malcolm Gladwell talks about mastery being 10,000. For me, I'm going to master for the rest of my life because there's never a point where you arrive. Mastery is continued, never ending improvement. But the confidence I have doesn't come from arrogance. It doesn't come from thinking that I'm better than anyone. It doesn't come from thinking that I'm even anything, it doesn't come because I think that I'm so good. It comes just because I've worked on it and I'm 18 years into business. And so there's it comes as a byproduct of doing the time. And so we've got to value that. We've got to value the experience. I see a lot of women in particular who've spent a lot of money on courses and programs and personal development and business skills and their craft, and they still don't value it enough. They say, there's so many coaches out there, or there's other people doing what I'm doing, and they're stuck in comparison. Comparison kills confidence. It kills it. So we've got to make sure that you value. A lot of you have unconscious competence, and you forget how valuable your stories are and your experience. Yes, there's other people doing what you're doing. No one has your stories. No one has that. And so if you focus on bringing incredible value and staying in your genius zone, then people won't even have an issue with the price. You won't have to justify the price if you do that, if you really value and you prize yourself. You are the prize. Just say it out loud. I'm the prize. Say it out loud. If someone's there, tell them, hey, I'm the prize. You are the prize. So you've got to value that. All right, number 5. Number 5 is underwhelming or overwhelming. We've got to get the sweet spot of whelm. The sweet spot of whelm. Underwhelming is like, oh, that's a bit boring. Heard that before. There's nothing new under the sun, right? But we can present something in a way where someone gets it. We can help someone have a breakthrough because they're like, oh, I needed to hear that right now. That's a great reminder. There's a Greek, I think it was Aristotle or Socrates, who said all learning is just remembering. But if we come and we bring a different angle, a different story, and that person maybe has heard it before, but it clicks for them and they actually take action on it and apply it, then you've got that sweet spot of whelm. Underwhelming is like, oh, really, that's didn't really get much value out of that. And I find that people who don't plan their presentations and don't really craft them correctly, they usually go one way or the other. They'll either be not give much value at all, and people's like, oh, it's just a whole lot of fluff, or they will overwhelm, and it's just like a fire hose of confusion, and they aren't able to actually take any action on it. Value is what gets someone to take action fast. No, oh, that's kind of interesting. But you got to think, is what you're presenting, is it influencing someone to take a new action? Because if it's not, what's the point? It's probably not that valuable, because value means really thinking through what is going to be really useful for someone. Value is not squeezing as everything you know as much as human possible and pushing it out to someone who's, I heard someone once say, squeezing in content squeezes out the audience if you try to put too much in. And often we do that, and I've definitely been guilty of it so much. Often we do that because we feel like we're not enough. We feel like I'm not enough, so I have to make sure that my content is too much, and we swing the other way. And I do think this is a bit more common with women, is that we give too much because we want to prove, you know. So amateurs, they just try and teach everything they know, whereas professionals leave voids to create hunger, and that's part of influence, to create a hunger to satisfy and create a hunger to show that there's actually more to learn. And so a lot, I mean, I show up on video every single week and give a whole lot of value, but there's a lot of gaps, you know. It's very hard for someone to figure out what I actually do when I'm teaching, when I'm working with someone, when they're paying me to work with them. There's so much more. It's very, very hard to do it just with free content. I give value, but there's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of things that people still don't know. And you want to make sure that you show them that you've put in the time to have all this really valuable knowledge, but you don't have time to present it all. You're just presenting a little taste, and you're showing them how much more that you have. What are we up to? Number 6. Number 6 is being unprofessional. And I know that sounds really obvious, being unprofessional. We all know that we need to be professional, but what does that actually look like? What does it look like to actually be professional? Great to have you here, ladies. Hello. And if you are here live, just pop a hashtag live. I'd love to know who's here live. Hey, Sarah, Trish, Helen, Kim. So lovely to have you here. Glenn and Butter and Candy. Amazing. Thank you for being here live. If you're watching the replay, just pop a hashtag replay. I always like to know how you find it, and anything that you find valuable, please just pop it in the chat box there. I really appreciate it. Also, that engagement really helps other people to find the video, because Facebook pushes it out to more people. So I appreciate all your comments. So we all know that we need to be professional, but what does that look like? So first of all, it's making sure that your audio is good, that you have a nice, quiet environment. I see people recording videos and they're standing in front of a train or a waterfall, or there's lots of loud birds, and I'm very auditory, and I just switch off, and most people do. So a nice, quiet environment, good audio, make sure you got a good microphone, ideally limited background noise, make sure you've got good lighting. If you're standing in the dark or you're half in the light, you know, it puts people off. These are all little things that show you're professional. Setting your camera or your tablet up at eye level, it makes it professional. If you're looking down on someone or they're looking up at you, the dynamic's not right. Eye level is equality, and these little subtle things make you more professional. Making sure you start on time. Make sure that you have nice professional structure to your presentations. You're not just rambling. You've got a plan. You've planned it. You've taken the time to really care. If you're doing a workshop or a masterclass, you've got really professional PowerPoint slides. You've practiced your talk before you deliver it. All of these things. Having a nice Zoom background. I know it's a little thing, but, you know, if I had my laundry strewn everywhere and just rocked up in my old gym gear, you know, you don't look professional. You don't look like you're taking it seriously. And I know there's times where you're inspired and you just jump on and the kids are in the background. I'm not talking about that. That's fine. That's totally fine. But we just got to make sure we're thinking about our audience and what's valuable to them. If you think it's valuable to jump on because you're inspired and you really want to get that message out, but you haven't done your hair, do it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about whatever it takes to make sure that your message is communicated to your audience in a way that they can really absorb it and receive it. And that doesn't mean that you can't be personable. It doesn't mean you can't add your personality and your flavor. And it's definitely not about perfection. It's just that, you know, if that's the only time that they happen to see you, would they want to tell their friends about it? Because they potentially know 10, 20 other people that they could tell about you. So we want to make sure that we're having that level of professionalism. Some people, they jump on and they take 5 minutes to get to the point. You know, that's amateur. You know, people don't have 5 minutes to wait for all this fluffy stuff. I think I've made that point. Number 7, and I think this is the second most important thing. Number 1, confidence. And this, I've wrapped these 7 with the most important at the start and the most important at the end. Speaking without structure. Speaking without structure. People want organized knowledge, and people pay for a path. People pay for a path, organized knowledge. So when you're creating a presentation, you don't just pour everything out you know about a topic, like a big jumbled mess that someone has to just kind of pick through and come to their own conclusions. You want to make it digestible and palatable for them. You break it down into steps. You break it down into tips. The best speakers in the world, they organize their knowledge into a structure. They know what's going on. They know what beliefs they're overcoming. They know the objections they're helping people with. They know the pain points, the frustrations. They've thought about it all. People think that it's natural and intuitive. Believe me, it's not. Sometimes a story might pop out intuitively. Sometimes we get a feeling that we need to share something that's off the script, of course, and we do that. But I'm talking about a framework, not a strict, it can't be scripted. It's not word for word. I've got notes in front of me, but it's not word for word. I'm reading, you know, that wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be fun for you. But we want to make sure that we have this structure. People fear structure because they think it's boring or restrictive. But remember, are you talking so you enjoy it or the audience enjoys it? Because it's more enjoyable to go on tangents. That's what we do with our girlfriends when we're sitting in a cafe. We meander. When you're talking to an audience, we've got to be careful about not presenting as though we're having a chat with one of our girlfriends, because we're talking to multiple, yes, talk as though it's one person, but remember we are talking to different personality types, different learning styles, and we've always got to be thinking about our audience. Structure actually helps you amplify your message. It's more potent, it's more concentrated rather than kind of just random. So I hope that's really helpful. If you want to move more people with your message, if you want to create really great presenting skills and use your presenting skills to run online events, online workshops, online masterclasses, and you'd like to learn the formula, the structure that I teach, as well as how to get people to your events, how to craft your events, all the different many aspects of getting people to come and engage, show up and stay to the end. I did a masterclass. When did I do it? Last night. It was actually last night. Time is flying. And I've just created a replay for it. So it's available until Sunday, midnight. So I'm not sure when you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, but it's available till midnight this Sunday, 28th of August. So I've created that replay. If you would like the link, just pop the word replay now into the comments and I will get the link to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be there, or if you're watching this on my page later, just click on the link and you can catch the replay. It is for a limited time. It's about an hour 40, I think, of solid content, solid gold content. I've been getting a lot of great feedback from people that came and watched it. So I'm basically teaching how to create a engaging workshop presentation, how to create a world-class delivery, and how to market your workshop so that the right people come. So just drop a comment in right now into the comments, replay, and I'll message you. I'll get that link to you, or private message me, replay. So just to sum up and review the 7 mistakes people make, amateurs make when they're presenting. Number 1, showing up with low confidence. Number 2, focusing too much on themselves. Number 3, failing to use influence skills. Number 4, not valuing their expertise enough. Number 5, underwhelming or overwhelming. We've got to get the right whelm. Number 6, being unprofessional. And number 7, speaking without structure. I'd love to know, team, what was your favorite one? What was your favorite of those 7? Pop it in the comments. I'd love to know. Always value your input, your questions, your comments. Please pop them in the comments. I read every single comment, and I really enjoy reading them as soon as I jump off live. I do focus on the presentation because I want you to get as much value, but I always read all your comments. So thank you for being here. Until next time, keep showing up and keep sharing your message, because the world needs it. The world needs it. So take care. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, friends.